1-star reviews.
Spenser Confidential.
Marky Mark is not an actor. Add your 1-star review in the comments.
Spenser in name only. This is a weak action comedy that steals the names of established characters in order to try to draw an audience from fans of the books and/or show. There is nothing other than the character names and Boston that is from the books. These characters are not Spenser, Hawk and Harry. They are generic buddy comedy characters with the names from the novels pasted onto them. Whoever wrote this script appears to have never done more than glance at the cover of a Spenser novel nor even watched a single episode of the show.
Parker is rolling over in his grave. What a shambles. If you're looking for the beloved characters from Robert B. Parker's books, don't bother. The only things this has in common with the books is the names of protagonists Spenser and Hawk and the location Boston. These characters are the worst of the low-rent characters that populate cheesy, low-budget action films. Gone is the literate, well-spoken Spenser with his love of fine food and lovely psychologist lady friend. Gone is elegant, sharp-dressed, intelligent Hawk with his wicked sense of humor and equally wicked gun. I can't believe Parker's estate okayed this travesty. It's a waste of time.
Boring Confidential. The movie is a snore fest. Predictable. Not funny. Just an all-around bad movie. The movie is not a 10. Or 9. Hell, it's not even a 5. Not sure what they were thinking when making this film. The guy that plays Hawk, terrible acting. Post Malone, seriously? I just couldn't take the movie seriously when it tried to be serious. I couldn't wait for it to be over.
Awful almost beyond words. A Spenser movie. Yay. ... Bad luck for you. This movie might think it's about Robert Parker Spenser. But it is absolutely not. If you are familiar with the characters, either from the books or even the Robert Urich series, stay well away. You will be worse than disappointed. You might even be angry. This concept takes all that is deep, interesting or intelligent about Spenser, Hawk and Henry, and throws them away. Had the movie and characters been named something else entirely, it might have rated just above a yawn. But they're not, so it doesn't. It's just an embarrassment in every way.
If you give a 10 to that movie, what do you give to The Godfather? Goodfellas, Casino, any Guy Ritchie gangster flick, Reservoir Dogs, Get Shorty, and 10 other better Wahlberg movies.
You have got to be kidding. I watched 30 seconds of this movie. That was enough. I knew Mr. Parker. I read the Spenser books. Did anyone associated with this project read them? He is not an ex-con or ex-cop. He was a state trooper. He is a private detective who used to box as an amateur. To me, the perfect interpretation was the TV series with Robert Urich and Avery Brooks. I will not watch this because it will make me cringe.
Just sad all-American trash. This could have been made in the 80s, it's so bad. Wanted the German Shepherd to maul Wahlberg to death.
Post Malone's worst idea since his face tats. This movie blows harder than a Brazil farts flick. Worst part is if you Google Brazil farts, you will be happier and more entertained.
Forget that crap, go see Get Carter. Nothing more to say. I saved 2 hours of your life. What a waste of time.
What a mess. Bad acting. Bad directing. No sense of timing. It's really so hard to watch.
Iliza Shlesinger ruins this movie. She is horrible. With the amount of actual quality actors in the business or wanting in, they literally picked the worst they could find.
WTF. Wow, this could not get any worse. The most boring 2H in my life.
Horrible. Stop making movies about corrupt cops. Boring. Trite. No good.
Cookie cutter. If this movie looks familiar, it's because you have seen it at least 10 times before. The only thing that's changed is that Mark Wahlberg's acting has gotten worse, if that was even possible. Skip this one and watch PBS for better acting and storytelling. This movie should have been kept confidential. This movie should have been kept confidential from the general public. Do the makers even watch their movie after it has been made?
Why? Was this written by middle schoolers? Nothing entertaining or original. And what and why does this have to do with Spenser for Hire? Just plain stupid. Everyone involved should be ashamed of themselves.
Shameful. Everyone involved in this movie should be ashamed. They use the names of characters from the Robert B. Parker series of novels, one of the best crime fiction series ever, and discard everything else. It's clear that they just slapped the names on there to draw fans of the novels, but I can't imagine why that would get any true fan to watch more than 15 minutes of this movie. World of advice: seek out Appaloosa and watch that instead. It's a fantastic movie and the best, most respectful film adaptation of a Robert B. Parker novel ever made. I'll be doing exactly that in order to hopefully erase all memory of this travesty from my mind. I don't dish out 1-star reviews lightly. Infuriatingly stupid film. Terrible acting. Dialogue and story. The director should filed alongside Michael Bay under Do Not Watch.
What? It's like Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg were given a load of money and told to make whatever they wanted. So they cobbled together an overly used corrupt cop, frame the good cop scenario. Shot a load of scenes that didn't make sense and then set it up as if it's gonna be a new franchise. It's an incoherent mess from start to finish. Terrible acting, lazy directing, awful dialogue, and slapshot.
I'm so confused. As a long-time Robert B. Parker fan, I don't understand why this is called a Spenser movie. The only thing this has in common with any of the original books, or even the 80s TV show, is the name of 4 characters, one of which is the dog. Other than that, there's almost nothing about this that resembles anything in the original Spenser canon. I admit I quit watching it after about 30 minutes because it annoyed me to see how far from the source material they went. If you aren't familiar with the original Parker books, it's probably an okay buddy action movie. But if you're hoping for a decent Spenser movie, this isn't even close. If you're a fan of the original Robert B. Parker series, this is just a huge waste of time. You will surely be disappointed.
Lol. This movie is horrendous. Everyone involved took an L for this one. The dialogue is trash. The story is weak AF. Strong contender for a Razzie though.
How did they get Alan Arkin? Dumb. Possibly the worst movie I have seen in a long time. And I have seen some whoppers. Yes, I know it's not supposed to be The Godfather, but they could have at least tried.
Cookie cutter crap. The script could have been written by any teenager with an afternoon to kill. It looks familiar because you have seen it at least 10 times before. At least, if this movie looks familiar, it's because you have seen it at least 10 times before. The only thing that's changed is that Mark Wahlberg's acting has gotten worse, if that was even possible. Skip this one and watch PBS for better acting and storytelling.
Every predictable boring action flick from the past 30 years all rolled into one. I was interested in the beginning, and as the movie progressed I saw every moment of this film happening 10 minutes before it happened. Very boring, and the plot has been done way too many times.
Disappointing. Background music and sound was so loud that we had difficulty hearing the actor's dialogue. Doesn't anyone check this before a movie is released? As a Spenser fan, he was not just a thug. Neither was his girlfriend. That's what made Spenser interesting.
Why did I bother? Going by a string of the movies MW has been in, this movie is the only one where I thought he must have done it for the money. It was just awful. Maybe he's starting to suffer from Tom Cruise syndrome, where he plays the same character in all his films. I thought it was gonna be really good at first, and the ending of the film.
Watch it small. Watch this on a TV the size of a dime. Or watch this on a screen so big from so close that you'll only be looking at one solid color. Maybe the color will light your entire body up red or white. Just do that. Give yourself a break.
Terrible. This movie sucks. It is just a movie with Marky Mark in it. Nothing more. The plot and acting sucked. Even MW Witch was disappointed. I wish I could get that time back. Wahlberg missed the Marky Mark. This movie is god-awful. Cheesy, predictable, and a lackluster storyline. Mark needs money wherever he thinks he can get it. This movie sucks.